Hi there. My name is Parker Johnson. I use he, him pronouns, and I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm so grateful to be sharing the Disciples' generous response with you today from our brand new location in downtown Calgary. In his 1959 book entitled The Field of Theology, Roy Cheville writes, "A theology that speaks in the language of former times will not and cannot interpret religion dynamically and functionally to the present times. If it continues to speak in the thought world of yesterday, these things can happen. First, it can turn religion to face toward the past. Second, it can prompt those who think creatively to give up religion as outdated. And third, it can cause persons to split their thinking, using one world of thought for religion and another world of thought for everyday affairs and analytic pursuits. This is a common occurrence," he writes. "It divides life in two parts so that one part can hardly affect the other." Aligning our hearts and money can seem like an obvious tenet of good stewardship. Perhaps you donate to good causes in your community, tithe regularly, or shop at responsible stores. Those are all important aspects of ensuring our hearts and spending are in alignment. However, they only cover the action of spending, not necessarily what happens after the money has been spent. As Roy Cheville explained, splitting our thinking can be a common way of coping with dissonance in a complex world that is filled with contradictions. But alignment of heart and money requires that we lean into the tension of our secular and spiritual spending. I've prepared a few questions for your consideration. First, what does our spending set into motion? In other words, what production practices are used to develop the things we purchase? What resources are extracted from the earth in order to produce them? And how will charitable donations be spent to support their intended cause? While we cannot always ensure every single cent we spend is 100% in alignment with our hearts and values, as consumers, we can do our best to know where our purchases have been sourced and the impact that they have on our environment. It can be a meaningful practice to review your expenses periodically and see if there are local businesses that produce the same products you need or that you want. Second, what does our spending demand of the market? In today's global economy, a single online or in-person purchase is recorded as proof of demand, setting into motion the production of more products just like it. When we spend our dollars on items produced or harvested in unsafe work conditions and in under-regulated markets, we are ensuring the status quo will continue when other consumers just like us go to purchase the same product or service. Learning more about local seasonal production of food is a great way to reduce the environmental impact of shipping food across long distances. Foods that are grown and consumed during their appropriate seasons are more nutritionally dense, flavorful, and cheaper. Many of our cultures promote instant gratification as a reflection of prosperity and happiness. But studies show that enjoyment increases dramatically when we are more intentional about how we spend our money. Finding ways to more responsibly use our money in exchange for goods and services can be a wonderful experiment as we seek to discover our true capacity. Let's say our grocery bill goes down due to a more intentional push for in-season produce that's cheaper. Perhaps you can redistribute the surplus into another budget area, increasing the impact in new and meaningful ways there. My third question is, what is the bigger picture of our spending? So, my husband and I, for example, give generously to the church and other organizations doing good in the world. But what is the breakdown of our overall spending? When we look at our spending habits and compare them with our income, we can categorize those expenses into useful labels such as housing, food, technology, charitable donations, travel, and more. Once this is done, we can calculate our spending in each area to see what percentage of our income has been invested into each category. This helps us to visualize our values as investments. How much we spend in each category shows us how much we value those things. Misalignments can quickly be discovered, and changes can be made to ensure better alignment in the future. Certainly, essentials are integral and will require a larger percentage of income to cover. But it is in the other areas that we can use our God-given imagination, intellect, and creativity to maximize our true capacity in the here and now. Based on your budget and lifestyle, find a percentage that feels right for you in that moment. Periodically use this method of budgeting as a check-in for yourself when other areas of spending increase or decrease unexpectedly. Discovering our true capacity requires that we let go of the idea that our generosity is somehow stagnant or compartmentalized from our other spending. Sometimes a flat percentage or dollar amount is not going to be possible each and every month. But knowing our heart and our money were aligned when spending during that period will promote a deeper understanding of our ever-changing, ever-growing capacity to share generously with our time, talents, and money. So as you reflect today on your true capacity, I want to remind you that your generosity, no matter the amount, is celebrated by God and this community as we collectively pool our resources to promote Christ's mission in our communities and across the globe. Thank you, and have a wonderful service.